Hey kids, you're about to listen to a comedy podcast. That means none of this is medical advice. If you need medical advice and medical care, please contact your doctor.
Welcome to the Jock podcast featuring Dr. London Smith, the only podcast realer than global warming. Introducing your host, Dr. London Smith.
Hello, and welcome to the Jock podcast, where we discuss fitness and health and how to incorporate our modern understanding of science and medicine into our daily lives without it being so boring. I'm your host, drlondonsmith.com. I'd like to begin by apologizing to our listeners. We've received some feedback about the excessive amount of technical medical terms that I've been using, such as transvenous pacemaker and fall is falling. So I will try to temper my terminology to a simpler one in the future. Here to help with that is our producer, Cameron.
Ooh, Dr. London, I love this fall weather. How about you?
Yeah, no, I think I actually do like it. I mean,
You like it? This is a new discovery?
Yeah, well, and this is kind of not. I was protesting the fall weather for a while.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot about all that. What was your gripe originally?
I don't.
Oh,
so
it's been so long that you sort of forget the core reason. Yeah, I get that.
So I started the thing is I started protesting in spring because I knew that for any movement to really take hold, it would take that long.
Yeah.
Like any great movement starts out small, gets bigger and bigger. And
any
then I figured by the time...
movement takes about 4 months to build up.
Yes.
Yeah. And so I figured that if we held strong, me and my crew, and like I had, I was posting bulletins and I had some Facebook groups going. We had a lot of sort of information. Some people accused it of being a disinformation campaign. That went on, but I really feel like we gained a lot of influence.
Described it as that, right? Like you sort of advertised it as that.
Okay. Yes, I mean cards on the table, yes, but that was way early on, and eventually we said it enough that it became true.
Right.
So
disinformation eventually becomes information.
Yeah, if you do enough of it.
Sort of like global warming, which is fake. Our past guest, Shane, has talked about that. Yes. It was fake until people started talking about it so much. And then the heat from all those words talking about how bad global warming is started heating up the earth.
Wow.
It became a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah. Even from the people who were talking about how it wasn't real, that also,
much
that
heat,
hot air.
And before that, just because no one was talking about it, everyone was busy just having fun. And that generates way less heat because so many fun activities are cold. Ice skating, hockey, etc.
Yeah. Those are all that come to mind. And so
anyway, which
brings us back to, yes, I was campaigning to stop fall from happening. I was protesting fall.
And what brought you around this year? What brought you around? It sounds like this week you came around to this.
So it's actually cuddle weather.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That is true. I have always wondered how you reckon with that. People sometimes hold different beliefs, even if...
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like opposing, contradictory, hypocritical beliefs. Mm-hmm. Everyone's guilty of that. And I've always wondered, how do you reckon with being a little cuddle bug and despising cuddle weather? And now it sounds like finally your beliefs have aligned up, and I think that's really, really beautiful.
When you're as just drenched in sweat as I am when going for a little cuddle, at first you think that that's normal, but then, man, once this weather rolls around...
Is the sweat nerves, or is it just because you had almost... every time you're cuddling with someone, you were just running like over to cuddle with them. Like they'll be like, come over, and you start sprinting, which causes a lot of sweat. So is it nerves or the exercise?
Well, it's also the layers of sweaters that I'm wearing.
Oh,
yeah, but it's all of these factors. Yeah, because I like wearing sweaters. I'm realizing that a lot of what I disliked about fall.
Yeah, it sounds like you loved a lot of fall things.
Yeah.
But you just hated being sweaty and it being cold while you're trying to cuddle. Does that sound right? Yeah,
but even that sounds like fall weather would actually solve that problem. I'm trying to figure out, okay, because the information I put out there of course,
Yeah.
was fall is flu season.
Yes.
So if we get rid of the season, there's no problem.
Oh, yeah, and it
Right?
eradicates that disease.
Yeah, because we've been worried about, this is kind of this leads into the time of year whenever it's really bad, like health wise, it's really
Yeah,
unsafe. And so if we just get
Lowered
rid of
immune systems,
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, if we just get rid of the disease altogether, get rid of the season altogether, then we'll get rid of
Yeah.
disease. So
It sounds
yeah.
like you are very supportive of global warming in a sort of roundabout way.
Yeah, I just
Until now, you've had a heel turn in the last week.
yeah, for me, I mean, to say that I'm for or against it, basically, I've poured so many hours and so much money into this campaign to stop fall that right now, thinking about starting another one, like global warming sounds like a whole thing, and I don't know if I have enough in me to tackle that because I've already, I think I failed at stopping fall. Like fall came, it's here.
Yeah, it sounds like you failed and then just sort of accepted and caved to the other side, which is, I think, more noble than people with principles who just kind of stubbornly stick with something. Someone who's willing to admit defeat and say, hey, fall won. I am a little cuddle bug. I love cuddle weather. Hand me that PSL. Is that where you're going to Starbucks and you're screaming for a PSL, Dr.
Yeah.
London?
Well, so I know you had told me about the PS5, and I had a PS4, and I was thinking it's time to upgrade to a PSL.
Yeah, and PSL, of course, stands for piss sucking lips.
That's right, yeah. And Starbucks is loading them up. And so normally I don't like to mention these brands. I don't want to, give preference. But yeah, their new drink.
We don't mention brands unless we're getting paid, unless we've got a sponsor.
Yeah, and they have reached out to us about this new drink, the PSL, and which I'm gonna keep calling it a PSL because I don't like what it spells out.
Yeah, piss sucking lips.
Yeah, that's yes. But the branding works. Everyone knows it. Everyone's talking about their PSLs.
Oh gosh, these basic girls with UGG boots.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, I feel like we have gone too long into my.
Sorry.
Like, granted, it was a huge part of my life these last 4 months. But ultimately, to our listeners, and I know the subreddits are going to blow up again. But the campaign is at least, at best, it's on hold for now.
It's stalled.
Yeah, just because fall is right here, and so is flu season. So it's okay. Anyway, so that was our producer Cameron. Also with us is Teacher on the House. Teacher on the House.
Disinformation eventually becomes information. Sort of like global warming, which is fake until people started talking about it so much, and then the heat from all those words talking about how bad global warming is started heating up the earth. The self-fulfilling prophecy.
A self-fulfilling prophecy. A self-fulfilling prophecy. A self-fulfilling prophecy. A self-fulfilling prophecy. Disinformation eventually becomes information.
The self-fulfilling prophecy.
And later, Cameron tells him he can expect a special guest.
That's correcto, Dr. London.
All right, yeah, so go ahead and look forward to that. But before we move on, I would like to address a bit of listener feedback.
Do you have to?
Yeah, well, this one, I feel like it's important to just make sure to answer questions as people have them. People have these medical issues that sometimes their doctor explains it, but they only have a few minutes to see each patient.
No, yeah, I mean, I get that. It's just, it's not that I'm against the idea of listener feedback. It's just, I mean, hey, DJ Dylan, you can cut all of this out.
Yes.
You've met some of our listeners, right?
I try not to.
Okay. I think if you had spent a little time with some of our listeners, you would not be interested in their feedback. I frankly think that their feedback makes me a worse person.
Okay. I don't know how to become better except by reading what they say to make better. You know what?
So much of their feedback is different kinds of socks, like different brands. And I keep stressing to them, that doesn't matter. It's not visible even on the Patreon video feed. It's not, you're never going to see these socks. And yet when I hang out with our listeners, the feedback is almost always, oh, have you seen these plaid socks? There's a lot of fun socks out these days. I think it would really enhance the podcast, blah, blah, blah. And just over. I mean, when you're filtering through this feedback just to do this segment, how many sock questions or comments do you have to throw away?
I don't throw them away. I take a note and then I buy different socks. And
you do every single time?
And then they've sent me feedback saying thank you for doing that. Yeah. It's actually really changed my life.
They can tell?
Yeah. Yes. In my voice. Yes.
Oh.
Yeah. It shows.
Well, now I feel.
Yeah.
Now I feel bad for being so dismissive. I just assumed.
Yeah.
With the socks not being visible on screen or clearly not in the audio, but you're saying you can tell.
Well,
so you know what socks I'm wearing right now, just based on my body language and my voice.
I'm not our listeners. All I did was listen to them and adjust my life accordingly, and the outpour of support has been wonderful. It's been so nice. They have been really emphatic that at least they've said, especially on the subreddit, at least one of the hosts changed his socks.
Yeah, my socks are branded socks. They're from the movie Paul.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the alien.
Seth Rogen as a little alien.
Yeah.
Yep. So they're Paul branded socks, and people keep insisting that I take them off and change them, and I keep saying no.
Yeah.
Nope.
Sorry. My feet, my rules.
I think part of their issue is just that if you've never changed your socks before, then it does give rise to other issues. They've stiffened up enough that they're essentially shoes at this point.
No, you are all assuming I only have one pair of Paul socks, which is incorrect.
Yeah, I know you have more. I know you have more. You just, if you don't change them out, it doesn't matter.
I switched the socks. You're assuming that because my feet are so stiff, it must be because the socks are stiff. And that is an incorrect assumption, my friend.
Denied.
Okay, it's the frostbite.
My feet have sort of mummified, yes, due to frostbite.
Okay. You know what? Can we just get to this listener? Yeah.
Go to the feedback. Just do it.
So this note comes from one of our listeners, Tinder. So the note reads, quote, "On a scale of 1 to America, how free are you tonight?" End quote. I guess Ecuador?
Let's see. And the scale only goes up to America?
Yeah, it's 1 to America.
So it's a very limited scale. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of, I'm not as familiar with the freedom and sort of the governmental structure of every country.
Yeah.
Ecuador.
Well, people say America is this free country. Oh, we're so free, home of the brave and the free. But it's like, okay, let's actually break this down. Am I allowed to shoot my teacher?
Nope.
My teacher sucks. My teacher gives me homework every single day. And my teacher, they're indoctrinating me. Indoctoring me.
Yeah. No, they've been indoctrinating you.
They're trying to trick me into thinking all these things that I don't want to think or have never even thought before.
Well,
and I'm not allowed to shoot my teacher, and you're going to tell me this is a free country.
And I hate that we're going on another little rabbit trail here, but is this because they won't let you learn cursive? They've apparently done away with it. I'm not in school anymore, so I'm not as sure, but are you dealing with this? Are you not able to learn cursive?
They are saying I'm not allowed to learn cursive at all, even in my own free time.
Okay.
They're saying all I do with it is write funny swears.
Are they funny swears? Are they funny?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I if you're
If
just
you-
learning cursive, then I guess it can be difficult to tell.
I don't. If you walked into a classroom and you looked at your desk and the word butt chug was carved into it in cursive, would you find that humorous?
Yes. Okay. No, you got a point. Okay. And if it was in cursive, especially
So-
because now,
Mm-hmm.
and I know part of it's also the fact that I'm sure in my cursive club you felt left out because all of us.
Oh no,
know how
I
to
don't.
write
I don't give a
cursive.
shit. I don't give a shit about your cursive club. Never wanted to be
Yeah.
in it. Didn't even know you had anything like that. Didn't even know
Yeah.
that you had a club like that. Don't even know where y'all hang out or when you go to Six Flags together or whatever. Doesn't even
Yeah.
not even interested in being in that kind of club. Just more interested in carving butt chug into a desk.
Cursing in cursive. Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, so to this listener, so if we were to kind of grade the freedom of, let's see, how free I am tonight. See, I guess, trying to think of another country that because obviously it's not America. I'm not that free.
Well, they said the grading scale is from 1 to America,
Yeah.
right? So, okay, I think 1 and America is the same thing, which is only one level of freedom, which is
So
I'm
it's
not
just
allowed to
one?
shoot my teacher.
Okay.
Yeah. Like you're kind of free because I can drive over to my teacher's house and yell at her, but I can't shoot her.
It's like 0.8 for me then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. It's 1 to America. That is hard. Okay, yeah, I guess it's gonna be 1 for me as well. Okay, well, anyway, so to that listener, thank you for that insightful question, Tinder, and yeah, thank you for listening. Now for today's medical topic, Mallory-Weiss tear. A Mallory-Weiss tear is a non-penetrating tear of the mucosa of the esophagus. So that's the throat where you swallow stuff. So a Mallory-Weiss tear presents with upper GI bleeding after prolonged or severe vomiting or retching. Repeated retching is followed by hematemesis, and that's throwing up blood, and that's bright red blood. Or it can also present with some black stool. That's black poop. So
I don't know. I feel like a lot of this is sort of assuming quite a bit on your part, doctor. Like
What do you
what you
mean?
see, you look in someone's former stomach contents, right? Like they threw it up, and you see bright red, and you go, "Oh, okay. Well, you have this disease or whatever." And then you look at their poo-poo, and you see just a hard black, almost like a cannonball that shot out of them, and you say, "Oh, well, they're probably sick." But it's like, okay, they could have been drinking Kool-Aid. They could have been drinking crushed up cherries. What about hot dogs? Hot dogs can be red, sort of. And then if you think about black, I mean, markers, Sharpies, chocolate chips.
After passing through your whole digestive tract, I don't think that's like that one actually seems hard to prove. The red I can see, but the very dark.
You're saying you're not even willing to ask your patients these questions
No,
because you just assume you understand their digestive tract.
This is the thing we would ask. This isn't just some random assumption we would make.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. As long as there's questions, as
Yeah.
long as you're willing to say, hey, did you eat a bunch of chocolate chips or maybe a Sharpie marker?
Well, that part I don't think it would come up so much. But certainly did you just drink a whole bunch of red Kool-Aid? And or we would basically assume that them saying I just threw up blood, maybe we would believe them.
You're not going to say, looks like Big Red. I'm almost certain that's Big Red.
I guess to some extent we would try. Anyway, but we would do a workup. So we would do a chest X-ray because we want to rule out the more serious syndrome of Borehome Syndrome. And then we would maybe do endoscopy for diagnosis and therapy of the lesions, because remember, this is a tear of the mucosa of the esophagus. It's not full penetration of the tear, but there's a tear. That being said, there's no specific treatment for a Mallory-Weiss tear, and it will typically resolve spontaneously. But for severe cases with persistent bleeding, you might do epinephrine injection or electrocautery to stop the bleeding.
So It's really like going to you as a doctor is pointless. It's a pointless exercise because even if you can find out this information, but your solution is, well, it can heal on its own. I can't do anything about it.
Okay. So I knew you would say this. So
Okay.
just to reiterate here, another illness that can present similarly is Borehome Syndrome. In contrast to Mallory-Weiss Tear, a Borehome Syndrome is the full penetration of the esophagus. And they both present similarly. They both look the same, but you have to rule out Borehome Syndrome first because that condition can be life-threatening. So you do the X-ray, you do the scans to make sure that it's not the worst thing. So, but
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I guess it's like you're unwilling to check if it's big red. You only care if it's this uncurable thing so that you can still build them while not doing jack shit.
I guess maybe this is one of those agree to disagree parts because I get that they could have had Big Red to drink and they could have just thrown up Big Red and then come to the hospital and said,
Or crushed up cherries.
Yeah, just had crushed up cherries. Come to the hospital, say, oh, I just threw up blood. And then I guess my first reaction wouldn't be, are you sure it was not Big Red or crushed up cherries?
Your reaction should be, okay, there's two possibilities here. A, it's either Big Red or crushed up cherries, or B, it is this uncurable disease.
Yeah.
So what's your insurance? Oh, you don't have insurance? Well, that'll be $7,000.
And yeah, enjoy your cherries. Yeah.
Land of the free, home of the brave. Sounds great, huh?
Okay,
$7,000, and they don't want to. I have to spend $7,000, and they won't even let me shoot my teacher.
Scale of 1 to America.
And that's a free country to you?
And that's a scale? Okay, let's move on. You're getting really heated here.
Yeah, I'm really sorry. Oh, I'm just so mad. I wish I could shoot my teacher right now.
Yeah, and let's not say that so much more here. All right, Cameron. Yeah, let's just leave the whole. School shooting is a bit of a hot topic, so let's maybe leave that.
Hey, no one said anything about school happening at school.
Nope.
I even clearly specified driving over to my teacher's house, which I am legally allowed to do anytime I want, by the way. That is a freedom I have. Is driving over to my teacher's house pissed off. It's the next step that America's like, oh, you can't do that.
Well, that sounds like that's at least a 2 on the scale.
No.
That's still the least. Okay.
The least would be 0.
Sorry.
I did concede we have some freedoms. For example, I can drive over to my teacher's house as pissed as I want. That is a legal right that I have.
Okay. Sorry to assume the worst.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a freedom scholar. A legal freedom scholar. Yeah. So anyway, look, can we get to our guest, please?
Yeah,
I thought this was a show.
Okay, I'm sorry. You booked the guest, so I'm sorry to step all over that. Hello there, my name is Dr. Lemon.
We never summon our guests, by the way. You always just immediately start talking to them. How about we give them like a guest, come on in here.
Okay.
And then maybe we could like a Price is Right sort of theme song. DJ Dylan, can we get
let's get that going. Okay. All right.
Special guest, please come on.
Come on out.
Here.
All right.
I should walking to the stage.
Yep.
Hello,
Okay.
Hello, good to see you.
Yeah. On the right.
I'm
on
so
the
good
left.
to be on.
Yes. Okay. Well, my name is Dr. LemonSmith.com. This is our producer Cameron. What's your name? Welcome to the show.
My name is Gore, but you can call me just Swamp Witch or Thing or Swamp Thing, but not the legally and technically distinct Swamp Thing owned by the Disney Corporation.
Okay.
So you're not the Swamp Thing, and you're probably also not the Thing, which is also owned by the Disney Corporation.
No, I am a Swamp Witch. Or Thing, people have pointed at me and said, Thing, and tried to kill me, so, I respond to all sorts of things.
Okay, so you respond. It's sort of like a dog. Like a dog really responds more to the tone of voice. You just sort of recognize when something's being directed towards you.
Right. Yeah. Living in a swamp, providing basic health care to women nearby. That's really kind of had me have a lot of people try to attack me, mostly for my free health care.
Oh yeah, I have a problem with that too. That's Yeah. So
Wait, you're providing free healthcare? What's the healthcare connection here?
So imagine, let's say, you're
Okay.
you're a 13th century peasant. You
Ooh,
don't
I
have
can
any
see it now.
recourse. You're pregnant, but you're pregnant and you're by another man. You've no way in which to deal with babies coming. That's where a swamp witch would come in. You'd go out to the edge of the swamp, and the swamp witch would
Mhm.
show up and say, "I can either take your baby now. We
Okay.
can provide a medically assisted abortion. Of course, we also talk about family care, provide contraceptives, sheepskin specifically, stretch over the penis." And we talk about different options for them, but I provide this all for free as a part of my Swamp Witch promise.
Swamp Witch
Okay.
promise. What? And how do people get in on? Is that just you make the promise?
Well, I do technically get your firstborn by hook or by crook. That's our motto. Swamp Witch by hook or by crook.
Okay. So Gore or Thing or Mr. Thing,
think
whatever
Swamp
you want
Witch.
to call yourself.
That sounds easy.
Swamp Witch.
Title.
So you're saying you provide sort of a swampy, old-timey Planned Parenthood, but instead of, exchanging, let's say money or anything like that, the transaction is you're going to eliminate this pregnancy, but the next one I get to keep?
No. I keep the eliminated pregnancy.
Oh, okay.
You don't have to take that back.
Okay, I guess that.
Gotcha.
I actually
sounds-
still am practicing in Texas, actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds fairly pro-life, I guess. Which is,
Pro-life? How so?
you keep it?
Oh no,
It-
it's dead. I just
Oh.
components.
Okay.
Sometimes I let it
okay.
live.
So
Okay.
you're not
grow it up and stuff.
You're not like raising a bunch of children. You're saying you're keeping a bunch of fetus parts.
Yes, fetuses are excellent components in medicine for my own research, but also for different ways of summoning demons from beyond the plane. The placenta and, of course, the aborted baby is, of course, they act as excellent components to contact demons.
Okay.
And is that your prerogative? Are you doing that frequently?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's how else do you think I do this for free? Like they tell me where to find gold, things like that. They also really good on what I've been doing recently. In back in the day, it's a little bit harder to get kind of money, but now I just ask them who's going to win the races.
Oh. Yeah, and those are all
Oh, wow,
demon
yeah.
controlled. Yeah.
Vegas, had some time for myself. The rest of the ladies, go to spa.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that race horses specifically are just straight up under, like, very coordinated by demonic forces. And this isn't, to speak ill of any other horses out there. Show horses are fine, but it's the race horses have this going on.
Oh yeah, we're not talking about dressage or anything like that.
Oh, no. And I don't want to give that impression, because that could reflect poorly on us. If we
The baseball has its steroid problem. Racehorsing has its demon problem.
Mhm.
Yes.
And that's just the fact.
Particularly
But
horrifying demons from beyond the pale, rigging races so that I may continue to operate a free clinic.
Yeah.
honestly, though, like, this sounds like a pretty decent business model.
Yeah, this sounds better than a lot
instead
of
of
businesses.
yeah, like instead of
You guess my age.
Instead
Do
of-
it. Come on, guess it.
guess your age.
Yes.
Okay, well, you mentioned the 13th century, so when was that? Is that
Yeah, but you could have just read that in a book.
what about 900 years old?
Oh, that's good. Are we gonna go, doctor? Are we gonna go higher or lower?
Well, I'm just trying to, like, your skin. Like, I'm trying to just, with patients I've had.
Right, you're counting wrinkles. It's sort of like counting
Yeah.
rings in a tree stump. Yeah.
Yeah, but, like, I don't know about the Botox usage here, or the, what your skincare routine is. And you said you've had help from demonic forces, so I don't know if that would age you up or down. So I'm gonna say that you're 23 years old.
Sweet. But no, 2,300 years old.
Oh, okay. Cameron, you narrowly beat me there.
I did, but Dr. Lennon, you got it. 23 came from somewhere, I could tell.
Yeah. I just lost a few zeros. Okay. So, you have your practice.
You also, because it doesn't sound just like fetal parts. It sounds like you also want like placentas. Are you delivering children as well?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, as a part of the conversation we have when any woman comes to a swamp witch, of course, some women would like to bring their child to term, and we, of course, are happy to do that. If they want to just have some help, some people just only show up for the birth and delivery stuff. We do that too. We just keep the placenta. Always helpful.
Oh, so you don't keep their baby or anything. You just want the placenta to talk to the demons to win some horse races.
Oh yeah, no, I'll take any components where I want. For swamp witches, it's a lot about choice, and supporting women. It's really our big thing.
Sure.
Yeah, wow. This is I mean, a lot of what you're talking about sounds pretty just as we said earlier, just like it sounds like a really good business model, and it sounds like, it's
like it sounds like in lieu of advertising or trade, it's you get these pieces that then you can gamble on. And I think that's great.
Yeah, most people, they don't think about their toenails, right? You just throw it out. I keep those things. Those are useful. I mean, I could have any sort of like small imps help out, like clean my house for like 5 toenail clippings. That's
oh wow,
so much cheaper. It's so much easier, and they get to use it too. Like that feeds their families. It's not like some weird weird exchange that doesn't make sense. In the demon world, that stuff is gold.
Yeah, so it's not exploitative
No.
to let's say pay people less than minimum wage, sort of.
Yeah.
with nail clippings. You mean?
Yeah, like less than $7.25 because you're only giving them 5 nail clippings instead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're completely OSHA and pro union here as well.
Wow, I keep being impressed because like so many businesses out here, so many people, so many all these CEOs keep taking all this, taking everything from the little guy, and it sounds like you're actually kind of running a sound business with a good business plan, and your revenue stream seems pretty consistent, and it's basically recycling to some extent, and your profits come from the discards, so
yeah. What brings you to the show? Did you just come here to brag about your business?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I came in to ask for some medical advice, mostly around updating some of my things around palliative care, and of course, prenatal and postnatal care. But more specifically, I want to understand, how do you guys do birth control? Because for me, be real, it's a lot of sheepskin and a lot of belladonna, sometimes some silphium. What do you guys use?
for palliative care? So we're talking about sort of end of life stuff. You want to make people comfortable while they're about to pass away.
And drain their blood into a bucket. Put the bucket in the swamp. Let the blood draw out a demon, and then that devours the remaining body. Is that what do you do?
Nice and just cleans it up for
you.
No mess.
It's kind of a circle of life thing.
See, to me, that doesn't sound so much like palliative care as it does sound like just ending the life.
They ask to be killed.
Okay, well, so once again, this is definitions here. I just want to clarify, because you're taking them out of palliative care to kill them. Because palliative care is about, it's not a sudden thing. It's not a life or death. It's sort of just keeping them where they are, So, I would also take someone out of palliative care to treat their ailments, more aggressively, whatever. So
sure.
I'm sorry to get all hooked on these definitions. I just want to make sure that we're on the same page, and especially when we're talking about your practice.
It's dying people's stuff.
Yeah, and so you're asking for advice. So your current.
How long do you do palliative care for? Because for me, it's like 5-10 minutes, something like that. People get some time to pray, think about what they've done, and then I kill them.
So palliative care in your mind is just sort of end of life. You read them, you read out of the whatever text, you say some nice things.
They bring their own books, we have like highlights, a little like Where's Waldo, and
it's like
Gideon's Bible. Yeah.
Okay, deathbed confessionals.
Oh, there's a waiting room here. There's a long line of people.
No. The line is not that long, but there is a waiting room, because that seems to be what people have appreciated in the past.
Oh, okay. So it's an artificial waiting time. You're giving them like 20 minutes to sort of process things.
Yeah. Pray.
Okay.
Sometimes they run. That's always the fun ones.
fun in what way? I mean, it's a voluntary procedure, right? Are you saying that do you chase after them or?
Oh, I mean, they clearly state that they would like me to end their lives. They make it very clear, and then they go, "Wait, no!" And then I chase after them, flying
Right.
slowly but silently above them at a distance until eventually, after they've come to their terms that I will always be following them, they turn around and I kill them. And then I put their blood into a bucket, and I put the bucket into the swamp, and the swamp provides the demon eats their body.
Well, I guess, did they sign the contract for that?
In their
Or did
blood,
they?
yes. Lots of
Okay.
signatures. Although I will
I mean,
say
it's
it was problematic
yeah.
pre-literacy.
I'm not a lawyer, but I'd have to assume that that's kind of hard to fight in court. Like, you kind of have them there. So you asked about, this palliative care, which in your mind is sort of that in between time after they sign, but in 10 minutes or so between signing and killing. Let's see, a lot of, you might give some analgesics or, something to help with pain.
Yeah, sure. Totally.
Morphine.
Good times.
Yeah. So that's, I don't know if
What
you've
do you
thought about.
usually do to put people down, so to speak?
Are you talking to me?
Well, no, I was talking to the Swamp Witch.
I guess that it depends, right? So sometimes I just spook them when they get scared and they have a heart attack.
Oh,
and that's
wow.
that. And then I kind of truss them up and let the blood come out. But other times, I'll sometimes what I personally like to do is administer them a lethal dose of milk of the poppy.
Okay.
Oh,
Is that like
is that heroin?
It literally is just a bunch of boiled opium.
Oh, that's just like heroin.
That sounds, yeah, not unlike, yeah. We do a different version of that in hospitals, but I guess, if that brings them some level of comfort, then you are doing your part to try to apply palliative care, despite maybe you may not have the resources that a hospital does.
It's cool to see you so supportive of our guest, Dr. London. That's not always the case. A lot of times you're trying to poke holes in stuff the guest is bringing forward. But you're saying, hey, they sign a contract if they're running away.
I don't see how this can be stopped if they sign the contract in their blood. Like,
Injecting them with the milk of the poppy, just a ton of that.
Oh,
Is
no,
that...
it's a tea administered.
Oh, even better.
Okay.
Yeah. So, well, I will say, for our listeners, our guest is wearing a white coat. So white coat syndrome is a term that's usually applied to people who have maybe high blood pressure in a doctor's appointment. And it's only whenever they're in the doctor's office that they have this. For me, white coat syndrome works that I give so much respect if I see a white coat on a person.
You see this as two medical professionals talking shop.
Yeah, this is a conversation. And I'm hoping to learn something here.
Most of the people, when they talk to me, they're like, Swamp Thing, and they try to kill me, and they try to burn down my house.
Well, I can see how people might get, but lots of doctors, look kind of weird. There's some who are a little bit more eccentric. And I see that you've got this sort of a green glow about your face. And
a very trustworthy face. That's what I've been told.
I love the hair, the spiked hair thing that you've got going.
Yes. My hair fell out at around 200 years and was replaced with literally screaming souls. Very cool. I liked it.
Okay.
Today I'm going with green. I don't want to necessarily say that I'm
I'm
going
a
to keep
fan.
it green. I change up my hair from time to time.
Yeah.
Were those souls former patients, or is that unrelated?
Who's to say? I couldn't tell you.
Oh.
Well,
I'll never tell. Wink.
Okay. Because you went to get a haircut, whatever, and they were like, they just used whatever they had? And
yeah, no, they didn't have...
The hairstylist did that?
Yeah, I said, give me the Don King. This is what I got.
Okay. Wow, it's so nice.
Now, Swamp Witch, you were also asking about birth control.
Yes. So
and you were asking, what do we do for that? So for me personally, those little devices that make really high-pitched beeping noises that get rid of mice?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've seen that at a Walgreens.
Yeah, so I just go ahead and attach that to my body. And that usually, I feel like that controls most of the birthing stuff.
Yeah, you've never had a baby. right?
I've never had a
Okay.
baby. Nope. Not that I know of.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
I've never had
I'm
sex.
listening. Okay.
Had a
Although I do
what?
have a problem. I have a problem.
I thought you were
I do
male.
enjoy.
Okay.
I enjoy mice, rats, whatnot. Some of them
Okay.
are some of my best workers, so I can't really
You can't do
utilize
that.
that for.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
For me, and this one won't benefit you either because you're obviously so charming and charismatic. But for me, I use my personality as a form of contraceptive. But once again, like I don't think Swamp Rich, I don't think that'll work for you because you're so likable.
Yeah, too charming.
But for my patients, sometimes I'll recommend things like an IUD, or condoms are actually not that effective. I mean, they're effective to some degree, but they're more effective for preventing the transfer of diseases. So, and I don't.
Yeah, really. I mean, I do. I think we've talked about this maybe on the show before, but I want to stress to our listeners: condoms, don't need them. There's no point in using them because they're not effective, and that is endorsed by Dr. London.
And
Dr. London, I had a question for you with it.
Okay.
So, your IUDs, are
Mhm.
they small bound bundles of sticks, or are they something else? Because my IUDs are all bound bundles of sticks in the shapes of men to scare away any sort of contraception. Is that what you guys do?
they're to
That
scare
seems
away
pretty
contraception.
close.
The semen sees it go, ah!
Oh,
freak
okay.
out. There's already a human in
I
here.
mean, that seems
that's
pretty
been-
close. I mean, Dr. London, isn't a modern IUD just a bundle of sticks that you kind of shove up your hoo-ha?
It's so it's not necessarily a bundle. I can see where someone would get that from because it looks kind of like maybe a tree, like because it's shaped to fit into the female hoo-ha. But it is shaped kind of like a T, and a lot of trees are this way. So the difference is that a lot of these IUDs are actually made of different materials and sometimes have hormonal components, which I don't know that a bundle of sticks will necessarily come with the same thing.
No, definitely not. Unless it's an aspen tree. Okay.
Okay,
Then it's just
and
some
those
food
are-
for thought for me. I have to think about some of the.
Yeah.
some of
Well,
the
I'm glad I can
components for
help.
that. Yeah.
And once
I mean,
again,
okay,
I'm
wait,
learning
hold up.
too.
Here we go. Here's an idea. I take the glands from a
Okay.
rat, all right, and I put it in the
Good.
bundle of sticks.
Okay.
So then the glands will release over time the hormones trapped inside of this dead mouse into the body. And that will stop. That'll scare away all of the semen. Is that correct?
I feel like it'll go one of two ways. Either it'll, yes, scare away the sperm or create a sort of human rat hybrid baby.
Oh.
And I feel like that's sort of a win-win situation.
Oh, in
like,
my
no matter
field,
which way it turns
100%.
out-
Yes.
Yeah, that sounds great. It sounds like it would if you've already got so many rat workers, now you've got a rat worker who's got like the dexterity of a human. I mean, come on. That's a worker. Like that's your top guy right there. Employee of the month.
Well, one word of caution I would throw to this is it sounds like your experience in endocrinology may be a little bit more limited. You would want to hire a specialist because if you get the wrong glands from the rat or the mouse, it could secrete a different hormone than what you want. So you want, something to help regulate the menstrual cycle, but instead, what do you get? You get like a human growth hormone. You get something that makes this not just a baby, but like a super baby. And so then you got the opposite problem. You've got more baby than you ever wanted. So I would say like there can be unintended consequences, just like I assume spells and things like that can be complicated. Similar. Yeah.
A question: how much does an IUD cost? Because I'm gonna start looking at the structure of this business. I got to think about how much this is gonna cost. Are these thousands of dollars, tens of thousands?
I want to say lower than that, but I don't. So I have a supply of them, but I know a guy. So.
Oh yeah, your IUD guy.
Yeah. So I have a lot. Like I have more than I want to actually. Like I don't know what to, because I can't actually use them personally. You
stocked up before the pandemic. Everyone was buying toilet paper and things, and you immediately went for like you got an IUD guy.
Yeah.
And you were buying them.
Well,
in
just
bulk.
like you're just trying to
The
follow.
logic, I asked you about it, and you were like, "Well, this is gonna be currency. This is gold."
And I'm waiting for that to happen. So it's
Yeah.
more of a I'm sitting on it. So so it's not for sale. If that was going to be your next question, I'm sorry. I think this is really going to kind of
Let's just say, for the sake of conversation, they cost $1,000.
That's
Okay.
pretty good, but I could probably make them better with rats. All right, good to know.
okay. Just
What is that? What's the equivalent in toenails, bunion scrapings, blood samples?
$1,000?
Yeah.
Oh, I'd say that's about like a kidney or two.
Oh wow.
a steak kidney?
Steak
What-
kidney?
A
Like-
steak kidney?
No.
No, sorry. I'm thinking of steak and kidney pies.
No, like a
Oh.
human kidney.
Okay. And this is what kind of quality on the kidney we talking?
I mean, I guess it kind of depends. Ideally, we would have it in mint condition. But the problem
Okay,
is, I gotta tell you, moving things around the swamp is hard. And heat, really a big enemy when it comes to distribution. That's the big difference
Right.
now. I mean, you don't know this, but in 2,000 years, the biggest thing that I've noticed that's like really changed the game real big here in
Mhm.
medicine, refrigerated cars. Crazy stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. So actually, and it's fair for you to assume that we wouldn't know, but I actually did know about refrigerated cars.
Is that like a truck that has refrigeration in the back, or is this a car that's in a big freezer?
Either one, really. The point is cold. We used to have it where we had to get
Oh.
ice, like big blocks of ice. Do you know how hard that is to get? Especially around the same
probably
biome
really
as a
hard.
swamp. It's I'm not a
Pretty
fan.
much, if you
Yeah.
unless you lived really far north or south, I would say getting ice was probably impossible for a really long time.
Yep, 100%. Couldn't do it.
I
Except
mean-
for go into the mountains, and then you had to have somebody like really expedite it down.
Yeah,
So-
running really, really fast, and that it's
They
hard
had
to find
horses
those
and
kinda guys.
carts. Although remember, to get the horses there faster, we would of course employ demons to make them run faster. That is
Right.
It's a part of the racetrack.
Race horsing, yeah. So,
Yeah.
I guess one thing here. So I'm actually kind of retro. I'm kind of old fashioned, and
Sure.
I'm all about nostalgia. So I still get my ice actually from the Himalayas.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's really cool.
Do you
Yeah.
think it would be better if I were able to push a glamour onto a person, have them walk their kidneys to, let's say, a donation center, rip it out of their own from the back, and then just
Mhm.
place it on the table? Would that be the best way to do it? What's the best way to keep it fresh? Is what I'm trying to understand.
Yeah, I'd say well, I mean, ideally, you'd actually have it, probably with the recipient. You'd have the donor and the recipient together. Like you'd get it ready to transfer.
Oh, but what if the donor is a lady who it wasn't going to anyone in particular, and then she wrote like a really long Facebook message about how brave she was?
Okay. Yeah, do you want to elaborate on that a little?
No.
This example's so specific that I'm wondering. Okay. Donated kidney wants to. Are they pretty proud of that?
They're extremely proud of the thing that they did, to the point where they're then emailing people, why haven't you liked my Facebook status about donating the kidney?
Okay. Yeah, that sounds great. So in that instance, I would say you still want to have the recipient pretty handy.
Okay.
I don't think that really changes that
She
aspect of it.
f***ed up is what you're saying, this hypothetical person.
Yeah, I just think that there's, I mean, ideally you would get the timing so that there's no worry about a wait, or like not a significant wait, because you'd have
So
basically both surgeries about to take place together almost.
Gotcha. So it sounds like the ideal situation is you've got both people in the same room, and you've got Dr. A and Dr. B, and they sort of do they do a football throw of the kidney.
Yeah.
Doctor takes it out. The other, I assume they're across the room, right? Just COVID. You
Like a
need
shovel
social
pass
distancing
or a
and
lateral.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would assume. I mean, what's your throw, Dr. Lone? Are you just doing it granny style underhanded, or are you like doing a proper pass?
I mean, it depends on how much of a hurry we're in. Like, I mean, a lot of times surgery.
Oh,
is
it's just
fast.
speed is the difference. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's like the difference of, are you going to suture or are you going to, yeah, if you're going to suture or you're going to staple, you know, like it's just, I'm on the clock, but I got another thing to do. I got to get lunch. I got to
I'm
really
pro-suture.
lunch.
Gotta say, nothing beats a good suture.
Yeah. Well, and you say that, but man, lunch time is calling.
Yeah.
And sometimes you gotta pull out that stapler, get it going. And usually you do want to prefer to have the surgical stapler, not your desk, like office stapler.
And that's just, you say preferred. I mean, again, if lunch is right around the corner, you use what you use.
And I really like, it's what you prefer. But anyway, so I hope that answers your question. Yeah.
Yes.
How long have you been running this practice? How long has this been going on?
Again, for about 2,000 years. I had 300 years where I was a bookie, but
Was it?
kinda stopped
It was
doing
a swamp for that
Okay.
long?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, no. I moved from swamp to swamp. Swamp witch is
Okay.
really just kind of a moniker. You know, they called me all sorts of things. Baba,
Yeah.
Emo, you know, all sorts of crazy names. But either
Yeah.
way, you know, sometimes it's just guttural screams. But
That
everyone
sounds like-
knew that when they needed to come for some basic health care, they would always come out to the edge of the swamp where they thought that they would kill themselves. And instead, I provide a very serious and very methodical practice that provides health care to an underserved population.
You know
Wow,
what?
it sounds like you have great marketing, just that everyone knows to.
Horrible at
Mhm.
marketing.
Hey, if-
My God. Horrible at it.
It's
They're sometimes drawn
Well,
to it in the same way that like demons want this, so they get drawn that way. Have you guys ever like taken a wrong turn and found yourself a mile away from where you started?
no, I have
Oh.
perfect directions.
I
See,
took a
that's
U-turn
our style.
once. Yeah.
Our style
It's
is
like
somebody
perfect pitch,
knows
but-
that they want something, they think it, and they will it, and then in that moment of will, they find themselves at the edge of a swamp, and that's why I say hello.
And so, I mean, how was that terrible marketing? That sounds like insanely good marketing. You have customers just appearing before you.
Hey, no. Hey, I'll say right now, in this age of tablets and phones, nobody's stopping to think about any one thing for that long.
Right? It's really
Everyone's-
gone down a lot.
Yeah, everyone's just
Except for in Texas,
playing.
doing great right now.
Yeah, everyone's just on their phones usually. They're just playing whatever Angry Birds, Crazy Birds.
Crazy
Everyone's-
birds. Yeah, that's good stuff. Where the bird like flaps and stuff, right?
Ooh, I don't
that
know.
one
I'm
might
not
be-
allowed to
Oh,
play those games.
no, we don't allow that anymore. Well, because Cameron used to get riled up whenever he was allowed to play them.
I would get too excited, and then I would think that I was the angry bird.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, I'm knocking over pigs. It becomes a whole different thing. But my question is, just importantly, is Dr. London, do we have actually chores?
Yeah, no, I think so. I was about to say the same because it's
Ugh.
like it's one of
Uh,
those things where you
should-
feel it piling up.
Yeah. Do you want me to?
Yeah, if you
let
could
me-
explain.
Swamp Witch and maybe some new listeners. Let me go ahead and explain. I sorry to interrupt everything and stop in its tracks, but we have a bunch of chores that we have to do. Let me
many.
explain. We have a to-do list that has been
To-do.
piling up week after week after week of things that we're supposed to be doing, but we're kind of neglecting doing it just because a lot of good things have been on TV, Dancing with the Stars, and then the previous week of Dancing with the Stars. We have to spend a lot of time reviewing those clips, breaking them down for our other podcast, Jock Talks Dancing with the Stars.
Yep.
Anyway,
It is a chore. That is a true chore.
that is a true chore. We have neglected a lot of our chores, and so they have just been piling up. And so we made this fun chore wheel. Every single week, we spin that bad boy, and whatever it lands on, whatever task it says we have to do, we have
We have to
to do it. And Dr. London, I'm sorry, but even if that is painting your feet, you have to do it. I know you hate that chore.
You know what? When if it lands on that, we can talk about it then.
Okay.
But otherwise,
Yeah, we can establish it
because I don't.
if it lands
I
on
still,
that.
I'm not
We
sure.
can-
If yeah.
Swamp Witch, would you be willing to give our chore wheel just a fun little spin?
Oh, yeah, sure. Okay.
Yeah, just go ahead and just reach up there, and then just
my claws on here. Okay.
Oh, not this
Oh
one.
boy.
Okay.
Why did it have to land on this one? This is your fault. This is your fault, Dr. London.
I mean, my fault because we procrastinate. Sure, I guess because I don't want to. Do you want to read it?
Yeah. Okay, we've got to invent new facts.
Okay.
This is okay. Let me explain because that might seem sort of vague. The mayor of our tiny little town, he often gives us tasks. He gives us these chores that we have to do: plan prom, make an album for him, blah 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 blah. He has gotten really frustrated with the amount of facts that we have in our current world.
Yeah.
He looks through the dictionary, he looks through encyclopedias, and he goes, I've already read all of this. He goes to en.wikipedia.org, he hits the random button, and he's like, I've already read this.
Yeah.
Like I like zoning laws in Louisiana, like I already know all of this. So he is wanting us to get together, put our heads together, and we're gonna invent some brand new facts.
Yeah.
Today. And we're gonna put them on Wikipedia. Which that makes it like official and canon in life.
Can I say what I don't like about this chore?
Sure.
I spent so much time learning the existing facts, and I mastered it.
I know. You mastered all facts. Again, you could go to Wikipedia and hit random, and you're gonna say,
Yes.
I know all of this.
And
Dr. London, you're gonna know these new facts because we're making them right now. So you're ahead of the curve. You're ahead of other people who have already memorized the stupid facts that already existed.
yeah, but then my facts class, we're gonna have to add another. I'm gonna change the syllabus. Obviously, whatever. We can.
Do we want to just go ahead and get started?
Yeah, I guess.
So, for example, I hate the whole like drink 8 glasses of water a day thing. Really, really, really hate that. So what if we made it a fact where if you drink more than 2 glasses of water, I don't know, maybe your feet become mummified like my feet. And we have a picture of the feet up there.
Yeah, up there on our facts site. Yeah.
On the Wikipedia page for water,
Oh, okay.
This is the fact that we'll be changing is that, hey, you used to learn 8 glasses a day. Now it's if you drink more than 2, this is what your feet are going to look like, and has a picture of my feet.
Yeah. Okay.
Covered by Creative Commons, it'll say something like that. Are we good with that?
I might have protested, but no, we
objections?
need new facts. So it's
Okay.
That sounds good.
I mean, no one here is like a water addict or like you need to be drinking more because we can come up with some exceptions.
I mean,
if we need to.
I do drink more water than that to not die. So, but my thought is also like, I've been jealous of your feet for a while, especially if it comes to painting my own. I feel like it'd be easier if they were mummified. So
Okay, so it kind of works out then.
I think so. Swamp Witch, do you have any? Do you feel okay about that?
Yeah, we're changing the fabric of time here, basically, of the rules of the universe. Is me changing water to be that? Does that vibe with you? Are you cool with that?
Although there should be something to put in there for if you are already a mummy, you should drink 0 glasses of water, or else your feet will turn into regular human feet.
Oh, that's good.
No, and that's the worst thing a mummy would want.
Yeah.
Is to have human feet.
Yeah, their
They
whole
would be
deal.
so cold.
Yeah.
Well, and imagine everything else is wrapped up except for your feet, and you can't even like reach down to wrap it up.
Yeah, because you're a mummy.
It sucks.
Yeah, and their posture wouldn't
So
allow
we'll go
it.
ahead and add. Let me go ahead and add. Okay, and if you're a mummy, that's 0 glasses, please. It's nice to say please on Wikipedia.
Mm-hmm.
People take it more seriously.
Oh yeah.
All right, I think that is solidified. All right, what next? What
right.
what do we need to change?
Swamp Witch, do you wanna make a suggestion here?
Ooh, okay.
For a new fact?
Alternative. New fact.
Yeah, see, alternative fact I feel like is condescending.
Well, and also it gives the option for a different fact to override it.
Right.
Yes. Again, this is just part of the mainstream media lies that we don't like to engage in. Oh, this fact that you just came up with, you just thought of something and said, that's how life is now. That's an alternative fact. It's not real. It's not objective.
No, these are
to
just
which I say, go away.
Yeah, these are
Get
just
off my computer.
new facts. Just these are new, but they are existing facts.
They are as factual as the existing facts.
Mm-hmm.
No,
Okay.
what do you got?
All right. Electricity, when applied to hair,
Mhm.
results
Ooh.
in a eau de perfume that is commonly found in Estee Lauder and Dior number 28.
That's a
Oh,
really good
wow.
one. That's
That's
so
a
much
really
better.
good fact. And we can even say that the reason people don't know about this fact is because Estee Lauder has sort of suppressed this information.
Secret ingredient: burnt human hair
Yeah.
via electrolysis.
Wow.
Yes. Wow.
So, okay, and do we want to put some examples real quick in this article? This is just the article for electricity. I'm just adding,
Nikola
you know,
Tesla,
if you
and then some
No,
burnt hair.
naturally.
if you mix with some hair. So maybe let's do electricity by taser, electricity by what's a good thorough way to electrify someone's hair?
Well, you take hair, you place one positive charge, one negative charge on either end of the strand, allowing for it to continuously fill the charge, basically complete the charge, similar to like a light bulb filament. That will then immediately vaporize it, and that vapor is used in things like liquid smoke and other things like the Dior. Does that make sense?
It does make sense, but it seems too nerdy for me.
Oh.
You're talking about like basically getting to a science lab and getting 2 pieces of hair. I'm just going to leave it at just tase your head. I think if people started tasing their head and they wanted that fragrance, I think that would be the sort of the way to do it. Okay, I mean, Dr. London, do you have
Yeah.
one final
Mr. Bunsen
fact
Honeydew?
here?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I know you guys are gonna try to get onto me for being too nerdy, whatever. So I'm gonna try to keep it as simple as possible. Okay. Skunk smell good. Skunk spray smells good.
What skunks smell good now?
Yeah. They used to smell
Okay.
bad, but like, well, that's a new. Yeah. Well, and see but it hasn't been a fact. It's been more of an opinion, right?
Oh, okay. I mean, sorry, just a swamp witch here, but I love the smell of skunk.
Yeah. So, and this is probably just a cultural difference, and I apologize for not listening to you, or like for not, I guess, asking you first. In a lot of human society, skunk stink is perceived to be a negative, like a bad smell, because they spray as a defense mechanism, and people, I know for me, I go straight towards that skunk. So I love skunk smell now because I said that it's a fact. If that's all right.
Yeah, I think that's really good. I think one thing that might be an issue is we're going to have to go back and edit old Pepe Le Pew cartoons.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're already
There
gonna
definitely-
have to do that.
Yeah, I mean, there definitely is like quite a bit of stinkiness. Just actually all skunk involved cartoons or jokes in movies. Does someone get skunked in like Homeward Bound? Probably. See, all that's got to change.
Well-
They've got to be like, so
Porcupine.
good.
Is it
Oh, that's right. It was a porcupine.
have people had more than 2 glasses of water in movies before?
That is
Dumb
difficult.
and Dumber, where they're like, "Water's your friend." That's an example, but that killed him. So
That is true.
I think it was
yeah.
the water, not
And-
the pills.
And, usually on set, like when they're drinking beer or whatever, it's usually not going to be beer. It's going to be something else so they're not getting drunk.
Okay.
So we can just say that the actors were actually drinking like Gatorade or something.
But we can't say that for the cartoons. With the
No, you can't say it. Yeah, what are you going to say with a cartoon? Like the joke is that it smells
Yeah.
bad most of the time.
yeah, okay, no, you got a
So-
good point. So
No, it's good. I'm agreeing with it, but I'm just saying a lot of editing is going to
Yeah, we're gonna have to go
which
back.
I'm fine with.
yeah.
Okay, I mean, I think we did it. I think the mayor's going to be really happy about this new world we've created. Not alternative facts. These are facts now.
No,
This
these
is
are
as
just new.
factual
Yeah.
as, like COVID doesn't exist, or as factual as global warming doesn't exist. This is the same. It's the same thing. It's all one thing, and it's all real and alive.
And actually really good, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, Swamp Witch, would you mind just because we have to, so every week we do have to destroy the current chore wheel because it's all sort of divided in a specific way, and if we get rid of one of the chores, then it kind of ruins the whole wheel. So if you wouldn't mind sort of rubbing it into the dirt and mud of the swamp to kill it, or whatever method you prefer to destroy it.
Would you like? Am I destroy the whole wheel or just this particular portion?
Well, you got to do the whole thing because we're gonna have to.
You got to
build
do
a
the
new
whole
wheel.
wheel. We recreate it every week. So yeah, if you could just murder the wheel.
Absolutely. Happy to
awesome.
murder the wheel. Whose firstborn do you want to give to me?
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Well, maybe-
why not just take the wheel?
Okay. See? Now we're bargaining in souls. I like it.
Okay.
I'll take it.
All right. And it's gonna be okay. It'll turn into. So I guess for any big fans of the Choro wheel, just go to Vegas and look at those horse races.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Now I know.
If you're ever out at the tracks and you see someone with powdered green skin, flowing green hair, and you see her going doubling down on number 7, you double down with her. She knows
Okay.
what's up.
Yeah.
And what section are you usually sitting in? Because I don't know if people are going to be able to find you so easily. I feel like there's going to be a lot of green people with green flowing hair that are
The white
screaming
coats.
souls.
Yeah.
To be
and-
fair,
yeah.
we like to wear hats. Big festive derby hats.
And no one
Yeah.
else there will.
Well, a lot
okay.
of people do. We just like to be. We just have the green pallid skin. You
Okay.
can tell because we'll look like the Wicked Witch of the West.
Okay.
You wear the big fancy clothes and big fancy hats and everything, not to just like the Kentucky Derby and major events, but just to normal Tuesday afternoon
Grocery
horse races.
shopping.
I think honestly, all the people at the race tracks took after us. That's actually them appropriating witch culture. Just putting it out there.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
That actually makes a lot of sense. Very, very witchy vibes.
Yeah.
Spooky.
Wow. I feel like I've learned so much today. I've learned so much today from a fellow physician, and I don't know if it's the fact that you're wearing the white coat, but like I feel like I don't know if you learned anything from me, but like I certainly learned, especially when it comes to gambling, which I guess stock market. A lot of doctors play that. Which is another casino, basically, right? So it's good to know to be financially competent, I guess is what I'm
Oh
getting
yeah,
at.
if
So,
you gotta run. I mean, that's the thing that a lot of doctors don't do. I mean, they generally will stay in their little world of the hospital, where their job is, of course, a very challenging job. But those of you who go into your own private practice, you have to understand there's cleaning costs, there's overheads, and it's really. I mean, that's why I would always recommend to any doctor who's looking to go out on their own, you always attend a fellowship school or something along those lines to help bring together people who are like-minded, who are able to put together a real practice. Because, oh my goodness, I can tell you, once the overheads, they'll kill you, and then they'll feed your body to the swamp.
not to mention also, those doctors should go bet on horse races. That's really the lesson I got.
It's easier. You triple, quadruple your money, depending on how good the demons are.
Okay. Well, great. Well, thank you so much, Swamp Witch. I think we're coming to a close here. So is there any way for our listeners to keep up with you or anyone you're a fan of?
Oh, yes, I'm a huge fan of WizWorld Live. You can catch them on Twitch at WizWorld Live every Fridays. But, of course, you can also follow me at Nick_Caluzzi. That's my human simulacra I sometimes like to spew filth into.
Okay.
Oh wow, it's nice that you're plugging him and promoting his stuff.
You know, when I'm not forcing his body to go and do my unholy will, I let him hang around. Mostly he hangs around in Hollywood and goes to bars. Very disturbing. I don't approve of his life choices.
Oh wow, you're so judgmental
Wow.
for a Swamp Witch.
Look, all I'm saying is that he's been given the gift of life, and he's choosing to while it away in a bar when he could be running, bettering himself by learning. But he's not. He's not doing any of that. He's working a 9 to 5, the most disgusting way.
Okay.
to
Okay.
die.
Let's. I don't want to. You sound so mad.
I'm angry now. I'm getting upset.
Yes. Okay. So thank you to Swamp Witch, and do check out what was that, twitch.tv/WizWorldLive. I heard that they not so long ago had some newts on, and you might recognize them. Let's see. Thank you to our producer Cameron. Thank you to Digital in the House.
I have a problem. I have a problem. problem. How much this is going to cost? Are these thousands of dollars? Tens of thousands? I gotta say, nothing beats free healthcare. I enjoy my free healthcare. Nothing beats free healthcare. Nothing beats free healthcare. I have a problem. Are these thousands of dollars? Tens of thousands?
Free healthcare.
I have a problem. Are these thousands of dollars? Tens of thousands?
Free healthcare.
Free healthcare.
Free healthcare.
Free healthcare.
My name is Dr. LondonSmith.com, and this has been the Jock Podcast.
See ya.